good afternoon, good evening, everyone. We almost were not sure whether we could go ahead with the show because my internet connection went down slam dunk just as we were about to hit live. But here we are, that's live, and welcome to the broadcast. If you're watching us on the replay, then welcome to you too. This is the Writer's Corner live show. You probably have a favorite book that you enjoy, whether it's fiction or nonfiction, but you may like to know more about other genres that you don't normally read about. You may be published yourself, or you may wish to get published. In this case, this is the show for you. We introduce you to fun and aspiring authors and authors who have been published many, many times over, and they have got some sound advice that you may benefit from. We want to introduce you to inspiring authors who share their stories and expertise. And the great thing about Writers Corner Live is that you can ask our authors questions live here in the show. And if you're catching this on the replay, then you can always leave your comments in the commentary and we will get back to you.
Oh no, she just went frozen again. Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
So I don't know if we're live or not. I don't know if she's been able to bring us on. So we can just chat.
Can everyone hear me?
Yes, there you are. Yes.
Yes.
Hi.
To me, I am frozen on screen.
Yeah.
So let me try and fix my internet. Mary, could you introduce Kate to the audience?
Yeah, so you ready for me to introduce?
Please go ahead.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. And if you are joining us on the replay, please let us know where you are at in the world. And any, like Bridgetti said, any questions that you have, we'd be glad to answer. My name is Mary Elizabeth Jackson. I am currently a children's author with a award-winning children's series called Perfectly Precious Poolicious and Poolicious Look at Me. And I am going to introduce, we have two wonderful, amazing ladies on today. And the first one I'm going to introduce is Merkel Boruff. And Kay, do you want to say hi to everybody?
Hi, hello. It's so nice to be here.
Okay. Did I pronounce your last name correctly?
Yes, Boruff.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. So,
and Kay's better, easier.
Well, and Bridgetti will come back on as soon as she can. And if not, we'll just kind of roll with it, okay? Because that's kind of what you have to do. And, well, if you don't, then you could throw a temper tantrum like my 5-year-old who's been throwing them all morning. I'm not sure how well I'm going to be able to accommodate those. But, you know, I can't really put you in timeout to fix it. So, or, you know, redirect your upset. But we will start with Kay. I'm excited today because you are getting ready to launch your book. So you get to come on and talk to everybody about it and inform them before it even comes out. So that's super exciting, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. So is this your first published book?
It is my first published book, yes.
Oh, I know you are so excited, aren't you?
Yes.
Okay.
And I don't have the books yet, but I have copy of the cover.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, definitely put the cover up for everybody. So I want to really do your book justice because it is, some of it has some seriousness about it, and it touches lots of people's lives and everything. So I want you to talk about what inspired you, what even made you think that you should do this, you know, because it is scary stepping out of our comfort zone and like wondering, is anyone even going to read what I have to write? Does anyone even care? So, you know, what about your journey inspired you to do this? And I want you to talk about the book as well.
Madeline Lingual came to my school, Hockaday in Dallas, the author of A Wrinkle in Time.
Oh,
and
Love
and
it.
oh, it's fabulous. She loves chocolate, which I do too. And I told her I wanted to write about Vietnam, and she said, "Don't talk about it, do it."
Mm.
And then she said, "Remember, nobody really wants to read your book." So the writing was a personal journey for me to do that.
Okay.
So I began writing when I came back from Vietnam after living in Vietnam 1968 to 70. I was married to an Air America pilot. Air America, we learned later, was a part of the CIA.
Wow.
And I taught school in Saigon. And then late 69, we were transferred to Udon, Thailand. It's up north across from Vientiane, Laos. And Merck was flying in Laos. And then he was killed in 1970, February 1970. And I came back to Dallas, and I was a widow with PTSD. I was a Gold Star family before Gold Star families were. And then in 73, I started teaching at Hockaday, which is a 100-year-old girls' school. And I had fabulous students and wonderful books to teach and read. And so I was there until 2010. I retired and developed a drama therapy program at the VA here for 6 years. And then I started trying to get my book published. So I had been writing all along and adding chapters and so forth.
Wow. Okay, so how many years would you say the span of your book covers?
Oh, the span is 1966. It starts with that. I had a nervous breakdown in college, and one professor didn't want to include that. And I said, no, it's very important in the journey.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
To show people you can recover. You fall off the horse, you get back on, and you go riding, and you try to help somebody as you're going along. Mm-hmm. So then I went and lived in a war zone for 2 years, which did not help.
No, not at all.
And then came back with PTSD, which in the 70s,
that's
nobody
like putting the drunk back in the bar, right?
Exactly. But in 1976, I did biofeedback, and that helped a lot. I started meditating and yoga and so forth. So I'm very careful with myself, and to be sure that I have the oxygen mask on me so I can go forward. And so that's kind of part of why I wrote the book, to tell others that, everybody has baggage, everybody has problems, and you just go forward. You have friends, faith, and family to help you along the journey. Eat some chocolate. I have a dog, Molly Bloom, and so all that helps. And writing has been my mainstay, really, to help me with my journey.
Well, it's a savior, isn't it? It's a way for us to get everything from here and here and here and wherever it is sitting in your body out onto paper. So it's a savior for a lot of us, and it's very sacred. Some of that writing is extremely sacred. I've used that tool with my own children as they've been growing up. Okay, so you're mad, draw me a picture. If you're frustrated, draw me a picture, write a song, write a story, write it down. It's been very therapeutic.
Do a dance.
Huh?
Right. Do a dance. I taught literature to sixth and seventh grade girls, and they would do projects and whatever. And I said, get a thesis statement from the book and do something to support it. Mm-hmm. Draw pictures, create a ballet, do a piano piece, do whatever expression you can to explain to me the book. And we journaled. All the girls, and Lisa Loeb is one of my students, and she said, "Oh, thank you, Miss Boruff, for letting me keep a journal." Barbara Bush was one of my students, and now she's published. And oh gosh, I've got something going on here.
I think Bridget.
So yes, writing is the joy in my life. And there's Richard.
Yeah. Well, okay. So what I want you to do, because then we're going to bring Cheryl on too, because we have 30 minutes for the show. But what I want you to do right now is give a synopsis of the book and give everybody the genre of it, and tell them where they can find it. And then at the end, we'll have you both tell everybody where they can find you, not just your book. You know, if they want to talk to you about speaking engagements or, you know, book events or any of those things. So
my book is ZOS, Zone of Silence, because Air America was not there. We were in a zone of silence. And everybody has a zone of silence that they live with. And it's a memoir, creative fiction memoir. And it begins in college, covers my years in Vietnam, 1968 to 1970, up through, I went to Burning Man and then climbed Machu Picchu. So it comes up to the present, really.
wow, that's exciting. You've lived a very, very full life.
I have. I've been really blessed and fortunate. And I when Merkel was killed, I said, oh my goodness, now I know how the game is played. And I developed Carpe Diem as my philosophy. Every day, eat one square of chocolate, love your dogs. I wasn't able to have children, but I have a niece, Raji Fletcher, who's happily married in San Antonio. She lost her mother 8 years ago, so I'm kind of a stand-in aunt mother, and I have a close circle of friends, and give back to your community. So I'm really had an exciting life.
Absolutely. Okay, so are you part of any nonprofits or anything that have to do with wives that have lost their husbands in service?
I'm not, but I did connect with the widows, military widows, and I can't remember the name of it.
Okay.
And I connected with it because one of the widows was in Time magazine probably 10 years ago. And she happened to be from Grand Prairie, which is real close to Dallas. And she was a horseback rider, and I connected with her. And I'm happy to say that after 6 or 8 years, 10 years or so, she worked with TAPS, and she's happily remarried and working in giving back to the community with veterans. And then I was at the VA for 6 years, helping veterans to write their stories about Vietnam or whatever. And another vet, Willie Miner Jr., and I formed a nonprofit for 6 years, and we developed a drama therapy program where the veterans write their stories. I would write them down. We would shape it into to a movie, and we would do 10-minute videos.
Oh, I love it. That's
wonderful. And it was a wonderful program. And within the Veterans Recovery Center in Dallas, they have an arts program, they have a band,
that's awesome.
Bible study and everything. It's a wonderful program that started in the 60s and then continued.
That is beautiful. That's so awesome. I love it. Well, thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
We're gonna bring. Oh, I'm so glad you got to come. I'm so glad we got to meet each other, and I look forward to all the sales of your book for you. That's I think it's going to do really.
Thanks to Mary Elizabeth and thank you so much for inviting me.
Oh, well, thank you.
I absolutely love your story.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, Brigetti, do you want to bring Cheryl on and introduce her? And then we can let everybody know how to find them, you know, in their books and everything.
Yes, absolutely. So, Cheryl, welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you.
And I love your story as well. So you've got you've got a background in healthcare and government as a business leader, and then you founded this organization called Unstoppable Connections in 2010, and it's all about connecting people. But the basis of it seems to be that you started with teaching the family unit how to connect. But this is not just something that we do routinely. You went much deeper. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So first of all, Kay, your story is amazing. And what what I always just love about authors in general is that when we get to put it on paper, I think we connect the head and the heart together.
Mm.
And really, we're always in our story. And I think it's the kindest thing you can do, which is to share it with others, because you don't know who it's going to touch and who it's going to impact. And that's sort of, when I started, it was this journey I didn't even know I was on, right? But thank goodness I embraced it, because the contrast in our lives are really our gifts. And those create the stories that we get to share with others. And so when I started, I was walking around a bookstore looking for a book to go in to present to a company on how their employees could save money and save time. And I was going to present this material, but I was looking for somebody else's book to do that. And I'll never forget this little sweet lady named Mary walking around the store with me, trying to help me find this book. And finally, she just turned around, and she was so cute. And she put her hands on her hip and she said, "Honey, I think you're just going to have to write this book." And so I went home that night and I thought, you know what, I could do it. And what I found out in the course of doing that was how many things my family had done already, right? To go through, sort of navigate our finances and how we connected with one another around it. And in that then unfolded this whole thing that actually ended up turning into an entire system about how families can really connect with one another in a really authentic way, that honors everyone who's sitting at the table. And so I, in 2011, submitted for this international competition for the next best brilliant idea for humanity. And, who would have thought that just getting together and having a family meeting and talking with your family would be one of the next best brilliant ideas for humanity, but it was.
Oh my.
And so after that award, So I'm a little unique in that I have a whole kit that supports the book that I wrote, which is How to Connect Your Family for Life. And it's just been this amazing journey with my own family, but I've realized that our story has inspired so many other families as well.
Oh, Cheryl, I love
I think
that.
there's so many families that need to hear this, because we live in a world today where there's so much disconnect. And I do believe that everything in society and in the world begins with a family unit, because if you can't fix the family unit, you can't fix society and you can't fix the world.
Right.
So unless we fix the family first, which is what you are all about, nothing else will fall into place, because communities are made up of families.
Right.
And communities make up a little town, and the town makes up, the province, and it just goes on and on. But if that basis, the family unit, isn't right, and I love that you also have been able to expand that to the business, because very often when you look at, and I mean, you can talk a bit more about this, very often when you look at issues in the workplace, there's usually issues there when something isn't right at home.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. And because our children emulate everything they see from us. So if we don't clean up our stuff, we are just handing baggage back down. So I love what you're doing, because I see a broken system. Not only do I feel like we're raising a bunch of narcissists with the whole me, and look at me, and watch me jump off the car and on the interstate, and I'm so cool, and all this crazy. I have teenagers. There's a lot of Instagram videos watched in my house. So what I have felt since like 2011, I have been trying to implement a program in the schools here to teach kids how to inspire one another instead, because the bullying program is not working. It's just, kids are still afraid, and they're like, what am I supposed to do? And yeah, but they told us to do this, but I still don't know what I should do. And it's like, okay, well, if we just come from it from a positive point of view, some of these kids have never had that in their lives.
Right.
And we teach that from the beginning, we can instill that ability, because, wow, inspiration is so infectious. And
well, bullying is really, it's a symptom of really insecurity, right? And so how do we get that self-esteem to our kids that, they don't have to judge other people. In fact, sometimes they judge themselves the hardest. I have 4 seeds that I call them secret seeds, right? But they're really and they can be at any table, right? That's why it works in the company as well, because they can take it home and share it, and then it just ripples back out. And you're so right, because what if we strengthen the core of our family, which was what the whole next best spring idea for humanity was, is that today, while technology can connect us across continents, tonight, can you connect with your family? Because that is where it starts. And the 4 seeds that I came up with, and I won't delve into them deeply by any means, but the first one is disconnect to connect, right? Put down the cell phone, right? Because the person in front of you is more important. The second one is something that's kind of fun, but works in company so well, by the way, which is don't quack the duck, and the duck is the idea. So if someone has an idea, it deserves to be heard. It deserves to feel the respect. It deserves to have its time and space in the conversation. Doesn't mean it's a great idea ultimately, but it deserves to have that moment. And then the third one is living above the mark, which is really just taking ownership, accountability, and responsibility for our lives, and owning our choices. And the last one is, which really hits into what we were just talking about with the bullying issue, which is celebrate ourselves and others. And because when we can celebrate ourselves first, then when we love who we are, then we're more willing to love other people for who they are. And so the whole core of this thing is those 4 seeds. And it won't matter the conversation that you have. You'll have the basis and the foundation for having that conversation in a way that everyone feels heard and respected.
So Cheryl, what's the name of your book?
So my book is part of I have 2 books. One is 101 Creative Ways to Save Money. And then there's another book, which I have, which is the part of my kit. And there's a mini book, which is free, How to Connect Your Family for Life. And then there's the Unstoppable Family Meeting book, and that is inside the kit. Although I obviously can share that separately, but it's in the kit as part of the whole family meeting concept.
The Unstoppable what? I'm taking notes.
Unstoppable Family Meeting.
Okay. I think Hockaday has guest authors, and sometimes the whole school, the whole community will read the same book. And your book sounds fabulous.
Thank you.
I'll suggest it to the headmistress.
It's just such the journey that we took. And, my boys now, I think I mentioned earlier, they're 28 and 25. But they call me during the week all the time. They still send me their favorite quotes if they see something that they think that I would like or that they enjoy. If I'm not above the mark, they will call me out on it still, because we have real authentic connection that still happens even to this day. And what I believe will happen is that my children now will have a family meeting with their children. And that's the legacy that gets created. And that's how we ultimately change what we see now, which is the disconnect.
Wow. You're doing something huge. It's really huge. And I'm grateful to you for doing it. And I'm sorry I stepped out when you were talking. My 5-year-old opened the door. The front door. So I kind of have to go check on that. I'm so embarrassed.
No, that's all right. Well, you know what? Family.
I know this is real life, isn't it? So
this is real life, and that's actually what I love about these formats. They were talking, Rogetti, you were talking about that yesterday. Life just happens, and I think that people appreciate the fact that, life shows up and we roll with it. We have to, right? And we get to embrace it. And so, no, that's great.
Well, and I have one on from surgery, so she can't answer the door. So I'm like, okay. So Carson's standing in his jammies and the door's, and I'm like, and I don't want to interrupt you. So I'm like, I've never had to duck out, but I'm just going to duck out and hope we go with it. So, but
yeah, no, that's all right. That's great.
I can't wait to read both of your books and get to know both of you ladies better. And I would love to see if we can implement, Cheryl, some of what you're doing here where I live would be wonderful. And every family, and I will share with other families that I know that we are trying to reconnect with our kids. I don't know how old everyone is, but I know that we didn't grow up with cell phones and technology, and we survived. And we had more conversations probably with our families, and I have the experience of kids sitting beside each other, and they're, it's like put it down and talk to her.
Yeah.
Let's make up a game or something, okay?
Right.
So,
And
go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, and it really can be fun. And I will just tell you that, the impact, if families understood the impact it could have, they would be doing it, right? Every week they would be sitting down and just having, because you think it's going to be just about that hour or that half hour that you connect weekly to have this meeting. It's not. It's really about everything that ripples from it and how it impacts your life and continues. So even to this day, years later, as my boys are older. So that's what I want them to, because it's like just understanding that impact they could have in their family. They would never say, I just don't have time to do it, right? Because it's too important.
And families today there are various types of families, with extended families,
Oh yeah,
single parents, and your book sounds fabulous for schools too.
thank you.
Big DISDs or public schools would really benefit from reading the book.
I am sort of just relaunching again, and again, Erin kind of said, "Cheryl, what are you doing? Get out there, right?" So that's why I'm plugging into so much stuff, and because I got the award in 2011, and I've done some things. It's not like I haven't done anything, but it's just time.
Everything is a stepping stone, and when you have a team working for you, you're doing it. You're doing the job of 10 people. So even being published. And are you traditionally published? I mean, do you have a publisher or did you self-publish?
I self-published.
Okay. Yeah. It's a lot of work. Either way, it doesn't matter.
Either way, it's a lot.
You're still doing a ton of work. And so, there's, I see endless roads for both of what you are doing. And that's super exciting. And I want to know how I can support both of you through just my social networking circles, because we all have them, big, small, medium, whatever they are. And every little bit helps, because you don't know, I like free. So anything that's free is wonderful. And then when it comes to all of this, it's really great, because you never know what's going to pay off even that way,
Right.
So can both of you ladies let, Cheryl, if you want to let everybody know all your social media and website information, where people can find you, where they can find your book and program tools if they want to purchase it themselves. Because I will definitely share this with all the mom groups that I'm in with kids and stuff.
Thank you. So my website is unstoppableconnections.com, and on the front, at the bottom of the page, which if you scroll down, there's a free book that I have, which was part of my Next Best Brain Idea for Humanity competition. And so that's the award-winning book with it. And it's just a little mini book, How to Connect Your Family for Life. It does cover the 4 Cs. And then further into my site, obviously, I have the Unstoppable Family Meeting e-kit, which is, I'd love to go back to physical, but it's just an e-kit downloaded version right now. And the book is there. And then there's also a separate book, which I have, which is 101 Creative Conversations you can have with your family around finances. And it's allows everything for you to sit down and kind of evaluate every single idea and say, yeah, that's a great idea for my family. And it's all about putting that into action. So, and then I'm also on Facebook under Unstoppable Connections.
Great. Awesome. I love it. Okay. So everybody who's watching now can see that, or who is going to watch the replay. And when the show's over, Brigetti will post the replay of this so we can send it out as well, which is really, I'm so excited. I can't wait to get it. So I'm going to get it and use it in my house, because it's hard to implement things sometimes at work and being organized when everybody's going different directions and schedules are so heavy. So I'm excited. Okay, Miss Kay, you're up.
Okay, pardon me for reading. My website is kmerkelboruff.com. I have a Facebook website. It's facebook.com, kmerkelboruff, ZOS, Air America, that I use a lot. And you'll be able to buy my book. The pre-orders are until August the 16th from my website. There's even a discount there. And then after August the 16th, they'll be on Amazon, and just K. Merkel Boruff. Everything is under that. Boruff is my maiden name. I took that from my parents. I didn't have a middle name, so I wanted to carry Merck's name, Merkel, like Angela Merkel. So I took that for my middle name.
Oh, that's lovely. I love it. And then they can buy your book also at blackrosewriting.com too.
Yes. At right at Black Rose. Well, my website has a link to Black Rose Writing.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Okay.
And it's both in hardback and paperback.
Okay.
So.
And you're already up on Amazon because I saw your book on there. It just says currently unavailable, but then it says the date that it will be launched. And so it should be out on Kindle and ebook after that. And I would assume at some point it'll be on audio as well.
Well, I hope so.
And I will say my book, my 101 Creative Ways to Save Money book, is also on Amazon.
Oh, it is on Amazon?
That one is on Amazon. Yeah, the kit is not, but that book is. Yeah.
Okay, so the kit we would order right off of your personal website.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
Cheryl, you had a question from one of the viewers who wanted to know the name and everything. So I hope she got that. Yes, Brooke Temple.
Yeah, that's the How to Connect Your Family for Life. That's the free.
I'll be off
I
here
believe
just
that's
a
what
minute,
they're
and I'll
referencing, the free
Cheryl.
mini ebook. And then yeah, that's right on the front of my website. If you put it in, it'll send right to you.
Oh, and here's Molly Bloom in the background, my dog.
Okay.
Well, welcome to your dog too.
Yes.
We're live.
5-year-olds, dogs.
That's
I've
Yes,
got
absolutely.
Yeah, I have 3 cats, a dog, 21 birds, 2 turtles, and, and
Wow.
a bunch of aquariums.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
I shut them all out there.
you can charge for people to come through your house.
Yeah, it's a fun place.
That's awesome.
That is absolutely awesome. Mary, I want to say thank you very much to you because my internet, it's been buggy the whole day.
Yeah.
And literally as I hit go live, it just went down completely.
That's okay.
So,
We survived. I don't know if we did, I don't know if I did as good a job as you, but we went on. We're soldiers, aren't we? Through the technology world.
Right. You have to have a plan B.
Yeah, plan B. Always need a plan B. Yes. But I thank you, Brigetti, so much for producing this and for inviting Cheryl. I'm so grateful that you were able to join us because look how much we've learned today from both ladies. I love learning, and it's so much fun to meet new people and to network and just, make those connections. They're really, really important. We're not intended to do things on our own in this life by ourselves. I know we always like to end the show with words of wisdom. So any words of wisdom from either one of you or both of you, actually.
Yes, Brigetti, thank you so much. I love your banner, live, love, laugh. That's just wonderful. One of my students gave me a charm like that. And I would say perseverance pays. Don't give up. You fall off the horse, you get back on, and you just find positive and life's instances and just go forward. Eat chocolate and be joyful.
I love that. I love that.
I'm going to send Kay some chocolate. We have bundt cakes in our fridge. You would probably eat our chocolate bundt cakes, wouldn't you?
I was thinking of a sticker. Eat chocolate and be joyful. Anyway. Probably along the same lines, but I think that whatever is happening to you is generally happening for you. And I think remembering that in our, as we go through our lives, that no matter what the contrast is in the moment, it ultimately is our gift. And it's what deepens our hearts and deepens our stories that we get to tell. And I would just embrace it. Not that it can't just literally suck when you're in the middle of it, but the point of it is understanding the value that comes from it. And then sharing that because you may touch the heart of someone else.
Yeah. So you can grow and not stay stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good.
I love that. A great philosophy to live by.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So thank you, ladies. This was an awesome time. It was really nice to connect with you and to get to know you a little bit better. And I'm sure that even for those, I want to say a huge thank you to people who joined us live today. I want to give a shout out to Sharon, to Martha, to Kathleen, and to Brooke. It was awesome having you join us live on the broadcast today. And again, welcome if you're watching this on the replay. Leave us your questions in the comments. Ladies, have an awesome, awesome day further. It's evening here for me in Cape Town, already in my part of the world, but you've still got the day ahead of you. So I want to wish each of you a great day, and thank you so much. It was fantastic getting to know you.
Absolutely. Thank you, ladies, so much. Nice to meet you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Get some sleep, Bridgetta.
I will.